a special guest.
Crunchyroll loves to work with creators, especially music creators, so
Absolutely.
makes sense to me.
You guys like music, we're assuming, right? Just call you one or two. So, our next guest is a songwriter, performer, record producer, film composer, visual artist, and the list goes on.
Best known as co-lead vocalist and founding member of the band Linkin Park. He released a deeply personal solo album last year entitled Post Traumatic.
Today is here to give you a sneak preview of the anime-inspired video from his latest track entitled Worlds on Fire. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Shinoda. Hey man, thank you so much.
Thank you for me.
Right there, right there, you're right there.
Hi guys, how are you? Thank you guys so much for having me.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Of course.
Thank you so much
Thank
for
you for
being
coming.
here. So we have a couple questions I think we're going to ask you, and the people at home I think will really enjoy your answers.
Okay, I hope so. I'll do my best.
First question, Mike. First burning question. You know, how has anime influenced your music?
Oh God. We have such a. I personally grew up, watching anime, reading manga. I felt like we had this weird thing that happened. I was really thinking about this coming here. That when the band first started when Linkin Park first started becoming popular, it was kind of the early days of people editing their own videos together and making their own, it was, now it's such a common thing to do that, but back then it took a lot more work for people to do it, and we were very, it was our first record at the time, and we were new to everybody, so I was like, there was this weird convergence of those things, and so you'd see, Dragon Ball Z edited together, Naruto edited together to Linkin Park, In the End.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
There are so many videos of that stuff, and we loved it because we grew up, watching a lot of that stuff. I think you guys probably know, a lot of my favorite stuff was I loved a lot of the older anime, like Akira and Metropolis. One of my favorites was Ninja Scroll. I love.
Oh heck yeah. Classic.
So yeah, and even if you watch the video for In the End, Joe Han from our band, he directed the video, and there are a lot of references to Princess Mononoke in the video. I think as I'm walking through and plants are growing from my feet, that's straight out of that movie.
That's amazing. It's amazing.
Oh my gosh.
So, what sort of artists did you work with to make this new video of yours?
A couple key, there have been and are still, more people kind of coming in to work on it. We're in early days in production for this thing, the first drawings, I did the first drawings myself while I was on tour, mostly on an iPad, and on little sketch paper in the hotel room and stuff. I met an artist named Sam Henry. I want to get Sam's.
Oh no, get it right.
I want to get his handle on Instagram right in case you guys want to look him up. I believe it's I am the artist I am. If you want to check him out. Juan from Venturia he's been helping. He's leading the animation company, and it's more of a motion graphic style animation as opposed to hand drawn, more computer generated. But it still looks. We wanted it to still look hand drawn, so I drew a lot of the key frames myself. I do them in Procreate. I'll draw things out, and then I'll send them to those guys, and we'll argue over where things should be and how they should look. And
that's how good art happens, right?
That's always the thing.
That's amazing.
So you mentioned AMVs, anime music videos.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite AMV?
Or favorites?
Oh God.
Or favorites?
Yeah.
The thing is, I always think of so many of them. I don't have a favorite. I've seen so many. I think my favorite category of them, I already mentioned it, is the Naruto ones. Because they're if you guys ever watch these, maybe.
You guys watched some of AMVs in Linkin Park?
Did any of you ever make one?
Yes.
There's some hands. Amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. The two things, there's two things in those early days that we were so shocked by. One was these things, and the other was military personnel editing together footage and stuff. And there were two things that we personally never expected to have these cross sections of culture, coming together. And then after we realized that it was there and it was so strong, like you saw, we did an animated video for a song called Breaking the Habit with Studio Gonzo. And then also on the same, around the same time, we did, there were a lot of references in our video for Somewhere I Belong as well. So there's just this long history of doing it, and it's a lot of, it's always been a favorite thing for us, and this was a unexpected moment to kind of come back to it with my new, this new project.
Great. We've got, yeah, absolutely. I believe we got some behind-the-scenes photos to share with people.
Yeah, sure.
Let's just show some of this.
It's
real
probably
quick.
a little bit quick, but so this is an idea like these, like I said, like just kind of throwing together. All of these are very, very rough, very simple things, but you can see like, so if you can't tell, I have kids. It wasn't like I didn't do them in super old, like if you were to guess the age of these, like I actually don't, we haven't like locked in how old the characters are. We also haven't locked in their names. So if you guys want to help me out, and I'm Mike Shinoda at Mike Shinoda on Twitter and M_Shinoda on Instagram. I will be looking through the comments and stuff to check out like ideas for the names and everything, because this, like I said, we're still developing. But these are the two main characters. We're giving away, in this image, we're giving away a little bit of the story, which is that she has a superpower and she doesn't know how to control it. Ooh. And she causes a lot of problems for herself. And it's like it's a light type of video. It's not super serious. It is kind of funny. And yeah, and they live together. And she obviously has that funny thing going on with her hand. One of my favorite things when I was a kid, I grew up drawing and painting. Like maybe the number one thing that I drew more than anything else was video games. Mm-hmm. I loved, especially the first original NES games.
Heck yeah.
And so you can tell, you can really see in that illustration a heavy influence from Mega Man.
Perfect. Yeah. Let's check out this next photo.
This was from Sam Henry. This was something we were working on together in the middle of the video with just some enemies, because she's got, she's a panicky character, the girl, and she ends up. Sorry. You're like, yeah, me too.
Feeling it.
Yeah, so she ends up kind of being. She thinks she sees monsters everywhere. And so she's constantly trying to like defend herself and her friends against them, and then it kind of usually turns out that that's not the case. Until at a certain point she's not imagining it, and this is one of our early sketches for basically the main evil character. Yeah, and so as we're working along, like these are some of the storyboards of a later part of the video with that character. Like I said, we're in production on it. Sometimes having a deadline, like coming to something like this. Are any of you in animation or involved in?
You guys like the draw?
A couple people.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Sometimes having deadlines really helps you to like focus in and get stuff done. Just the fact that you know that there's a time pressure. Having this here, I feel like we were even this week like really coming in to focus on a few things that we're creating. So as you can see though, we're still working it out, and I do look forward to like as we share some of this stuff today. Like I said, I'll be looking at your comments and stuff, so you might see that some of that feedback would influence what we end up doing. So I look forward to hearing from you guys.
Great, thank you. And I believe we have a preview video. Should we show this off to them? Would you guys like to see a little teaser of Worlds on Fire? Come on, let me hear it. There we go. All right, let's do this.
When the world's on fire, all I need is you. I don't always think to say it, but it's true. I just wanna disappear. You're the one that keeps me here. World's on fire, all I need is you.
Woo!
Love it.
So excited to see this.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that with all of us.
Thank you guys so much.
Yep. And when might we be seeing this?
We're shooting for to have it ready by end of summer.
Beautiful, beautiful. And stay tuned to all the Crunchyroll social media channels and be the first to know when this is dropping. Everyone, give it a big round of applause for Mike Shinoda. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Oh, did they want to get a photo now?
Afterwards, yeah, you're good.